I'm very cold, lads.
Are you cold?
Just bubonic plague, like, you know.
Yeah. You're going to die.
I think so.
At some point in your life.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Friday Brew with Brendan and Andrew. Or Brendan and Andrew.
Yeah, there you go.
That way around. To start, we want to thank Colin.
We should sit like Ant and Dec, because, you know, it's always Ant and Dec. You're just Brendan from now on.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Brendan and Andrew.
Cahill Flaherty. Cahill dropped these in yesterday. See, this is what happens. Brendan was not on the radio yesterday. And Cahill was filling in. And Cahill brought us coffees and chocolates. So you can have chocolates, compliments of that guy.
Right. What's happening here, right? Cahill isn't a nice person. Cahill is on Fresh between 6 and 9, and Cahill is trying to get the afternoon show.
But he's going about it the right way, anyway, I'll tell you that. Ho-ho. Oh, come here. Before we start, I have two things for you.
Yeah.
First of all, I have a present.
Okay.
Brendan never has a pen. Well, no, that's not true. Brendan always has a pen or a biro, and somebody always steals it.
Yeah, I had a bag. About how many are in a Radio Kerry bag of pens?
4 million?
4 million pens. I got them last month. All gone because I bring them from downstairs. People then bring the pens from my desk to wherever they are.
Well,
the other realm.
Of Radio Today.
Oh, class.
RadioToday.ie, that's for you.
RadioToday.ie. My God, I might get an article in RadioToday.ie that's going to be read by 15 people, and 4 of those will be me refreshing, going, I wonder how many people have read the article in RadioToday.ie.
They'll love that, yeah. And the second thing...
I've been banished from Radio Today land. Thank you.
The second thing I have for you actually has to do with getting free stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who's a regular listener to the podcast or who's watched our video, the vidcast as we're calling it, will know that we start each week, and we will continue in the same with what's Brendan wearing. But before you tell us,
I'm looking well, actually.
You were not on the radio yesterday, you were off?
No, I was off.
Okay, now you told me that you were emceeing a gig. Okay,
yeah.
That's fine. I'm going to question that
proof.
in a second. I'm not sure, have you? Because can you confirm or deny that you were in the middle of trying to get a sponsorship deal for yourself yesterday?
Oh, I know.
Literally yesterday, and I was laughing. I was like, "Oh yeah, Brendan's off."
He's in Clarny as well, yeah.
And Tommy Bo's around. No, answer that one, Brendan.
Well,
even your real name.
Well, I will answer by just pointing to my shoes today, which are Tommy Hilfigers.
Right. Okay.
Was he in Tralee as well?
In Tralee as well. He's in Minx.
Jesus, he was doing
Minx or Jinx or Minx. One of them. The Inks.
Minx.
I got that wrong.
I don't know.
It's a clothes shop anyway. He was there.
Yeah. Anyway, he was in Brian James as well. So I could have bumped into him. I was actually planning on doing loads of bits and bobs around town, but then while I was off yesterday, I was actually kind of sick, like with a sort of a flu-y, coldy kind of feeling, and I was still working, so I just didn't bother my arse with jobs around town and just powered through the gig. But it was for Cork Kerry Healthcare, community healthcare, so like I was almost about to pass out, and it was the right room to be feeling sick. Is there a doctor in here? 1,000 hands go up. So yeah, the gig went grand, but I was feeling absolutely horrendous. But I thought of Keith Barry, right? The one time I ran on to the stage when he was there a few years back, and at halftime I had a pint of Bulmers in the what is now called the backstage bar. It was the Chestnut Bar, then the Glen Eagle. And he said before calling everyone, he was like, "Now if you've had a drink, don't come onto the stage." I was like, "Feck that, sure, it won't matter at all." I couldn't. Yeah, I just legged it down to the stage, heart racing, and then trying to get entranced. And you could almost feel yourself on the cusp of just going into hypno land. It was a class experience, but I didn't quite fully get there. And what I'm remembering for is that night he kept on saying, "I'm not feeling the best," and we were like, "Oh, this is Keith Barry, part of the act." He literally, we're all sat in chairs like these along the stage. He literally picked up a bucket, got sick, and powered through. And I told people after the gig, and they were like, "Did he actually? Was that really? Was that?" Yeah, full on. He was dying sick, and just his mental strength, like, it was incredible to see. So while I felt slightly uncomfortable and very warm, I was like, Keith Barry can do this. I can do this for another. Yeah, were you? Yeah.
I didn't know you were on stage.
I was.
I remember being at the gig, and he literally went, "Sorry, just one sec there." He walked over and he had a secondary bucket, and he was like, "By the way, this isn't part of the act. I'm not joking. I've genuinely got food poisoning."
I was there. I was looking like behind. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's full on getting sick.
He's actually getting sick. Yeah.
Oh man, it was some performance though. Like, just to see the mental strength. So I thought of you yesterday, Keith. Thank you so much for inspiring me.
Good weekend, Keith Barry.
Sponsor
usual crack,
this
if you want to...
Tommy Bow is gone. I might have tackled him outside Brian James. We won't speak about that.
Also, if you
He's
want to
gone.
comment
Give it up
on
on him.
our video, you can do so obviously here on the Facebook page, or if you're listening to us on Spotify, we're now on iTunes as well, we're on Podcast Addict as well. You can email either of us, Andrew@radiokerry.ie, Brendan@radiokerry.ie, and this is our Friday brew. So we have a bit of a catch up as to what's happening. Now, I was thinking for next week, by the way, is we could look back at the decade.
Oh,
Things
good idea.
over the course of the last 10 years.
Actually, I was giving my email to someone there today, and Brendan Fuller 2010. I was like, oh my Jesus, like 10 years. And that was the first actual email that I got for myself, you know, because I didn't really need one up until then. So it's like almost 10 years as a responsible person receiving emails.
What mine was. Oh. It was a Hotmail, but that's all I'll say.
It's definitely something X-rated.
No, it wasn't rude. It was just something that will...
DJ Ice.
It was something similar.
Class.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Cork City vibe.
Move on, Docket. Right, what I've got for this week is Christmas is obviously coming. We're just over a week away from Christmas, right? And it's 13 minutes past 2.
It's a week. Just 1 week till... Jesus Christ. I actually have no shopping done. I haven't bought a single thing for anyone.
I did some business morning after the breakfast, actually. 13 minutes past 2 on St. Stephen's Day is when we are done with Christmas. The festive spirit is very short.
I disagree.
2:13, and it's down to a few things, right? So you're at home. Board games. Disagreements over the board games. Disagreements over what to watch on TV, including all of the soaps, all of the special movies that are on and everything else. Like in our house, Christmas Day will be taken up with Fair City, Emmerdale,
Fair City,
EastEnders,
Dude,
all of it.
Does Fair City have like a full-on Christmas special every year?
I know, but see, my mother would have it recorded and built up for the week.
Class.
So you've all them to contend with. Politics is another one people would argue over. But then they also say that we'll have disagreements and there'll be tension over things like who you're sharing a room with, the room temperature, children's toys being too noisy.
Annoying yokes,
And also anybody who's aged between 18 and 34 and still single. And then being constantly nagged. Why are you single? Why don't you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever? So constantly being nagged. And I'll give you one more from this as well, which again I know people who will go through this as well. It's not being good with money and not having a better job. Those are all reasons that family members will piss you off just enough that at 13 minutes past 2 on St. Stephen's Day you're like, I'm done with Christmas. And so on.
So they'll be at you for not being good with money and not having a better job.
Not having a better job.
Jesus Christ. Who are these family members?
Well, I know, yeah. But that's what I want to ask you about. What's your typical Christmas Day / Stephen's Day?
So normally I go, because I'm, a blow into Glenflesk these past few years, I'll spend... I will go to work Christmas Eve. That's great for the podcast. Thank you so much. You're like someone in the cinema now. Yeah.
God, yeah.
Just like who brings a packet into the cinema. So Christmas Eve morning, me and Eve will swap our presents. Yes, she's Christmas Eve. And then after that, I'll say, right, off I go. And I do the afternoon show with Santa. It's beautifully stressful and stressfully beautiful because we have to call a load of different children around the county. It's very difficult because I'm on the phones and I'm trying to be on the radio and I'm trying to make sure that the child who's on the air isn't having a complete meltdown, and Santa's there as well. And it does happen, but you know what, it's part of the magic as well. It's just a gas show that wouldn't happen only on Christmas Eve. You know, it's like you get a free pass for bad radio, car crash radio, like
pretty much, yeah.
But it's great radio because it's bad. You know, it's a lovely day. And then I come home after the show, and maybe the parents would have gone out to Shronaboy in Glenflesk and maybe a few festive drinks there, and I'll pick them up and bring us into town and into Fleskbridge, and that's where we'll just be back, the four Fullers, myself, Mom, Dad, and the brother Pat, and then Christmas Day we'll spend that together, and just kind of relax, chat, watch movies, have a few beverages.
Yeah.
And what I look forward to getting is a really expensive gin every year.
Yeah, you have gin, yeah.
I get, well, you know what, I'm kind of gone off it because I was like really like sold on gin and tonics before the massive like phase of it, you know. Thanks, Dingle Gin, for being so lovely. Sponsors. And what I get every year now is the Bertha's Revenge. And Bertha will strike a bell with a lot of our listeners and viewers because Bertha was the biggest, or oldest cow ever recorded, 52 years of age, and was born and bred and reared in Sneem, County Kerry. Nice. Oldest cow of all time, Big Bertha, lived to 52 and spent her last few years in Ballyvillan, which is where the gin is made, and it's class. It's made with milk whey, like, you know, that kind of powdery stuff. So it's genuinely beautiful. Please sponsor, please send me a bottle, because it's expensive, but it's so worth it. It is class though. So, if you're going to treat yourself, either a dingle or Bertha's Revenge, it's savage.
Couple of drinks so, and overindulging on some food.
And Dad makes an unreal ham. He always throws something random in to boil it with, you know. Like one year it was a Copperberg that was left in the fridge or left somewhere around the house for ages because nobody was like, oh, too sweet. So he threw that in one year. It was delicious. Then there was Coca-Cola, and then I think maybe Bulmer's Light one year as well. So like it's always something random. Dad's just like that with food. He's like, I'll try this and it'll be amazing. And then like meanwhile I try something and it just goes to shit. Like so.
No, I do like the experimentation of it. And
he's class. It works. Great chef. Yeah.
Similar in ours. So I'll leave Kerry for Cork on Christmas Eve, which will be Tuesday evening. My mom then puts on a spread in the kitchen. When we get up, she has like sausage roll, like mini sausage rolls, mini bits of chicken. She's all these kind of party food stuff laid out every Christmas Eve. I arrive home just in time; it's just cooked, and it's lovely. And then loads of all the family kind of come around. We all pick away at that, and then Christmas morning. I used to be notorious for being the first up every morning, even into my early 20s.
Yeah.
I was always the first up. Love Christmas morning. Much more into my Lions these days now, but. So nieces and nephews and that kind of thing, they'll arrive at some point as we all get up and we open presents and everything else. And then you'll have the inevitable clean up because there's wrapping paper everywhere. But after that then we kind of have our Christmas dinner around 2:30, 3 o'clock. I love it. The turkey, the ham, the usual traditional dinner. Love it.
Yeah.
Eat way too much, and then by 4:30 you're sitting on the couch practically asleep. But at some point I'll change into a pair of pyjamas or a pair of shorts and sit down and we watch whatever. But we for the last few years, we've been putting try this year. We put a Santa hat in the corner of the telly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of crack to like, and my dad.
I've never done it.
Over this.
Yeah.
So we put a Santa hat in the corner of the telly, and no matter what you're watching, right, as soon as somebody appears in the Santa hat, I just start going drink, and the next thing like so. But like as you know the way TV works, 4 people could appear in that in a minute. So like I'm like drink, and next thing they're all having their say I go drink, and my dad's like Jesus Christ, I haven't got the first bit done yet, and it's brilliant fun. And then inevitably we'll try and play some sort of board game at some point over the Christmas period. It might necessarily be Christmas Day, but Una will come to Cork then on New Year's Eve, we'll say, and we have New Year's Day dinner with my parents, and we tend to play some sort of board game.
Have you played 30 Seconds?
No, we played 5 Second Rule.
Oh, it's what's 5 Second Rule?
5 Second Rule is a board game with cards, whatever, and you go around or whatever. And there's a little yoke which is 5 seconds, so you turn it over and it's 5 seconds for the thing to drop. So I'd say to you, name 3 boy bands and then turn it over. But
cool, yeah.
After a while, with drinks on board, it becomes hilarious. You'd say, name 3 colours, red, blue, and shit. So it becomes a great crack with a few drinks.
That's a colour.
What's 30 seconds?
30 Seconds is the board game which has inspired it's the radio filler of 2019, basically. Every radio station, apart from us, so I'm proud of us for not caving in, is where you have 30 seconds and you have 5 different topics. So let's say I'm like, he's your man who was in Rambo in the 80s and he's got slurred speech.
Elmo.
Yeah, and you rattle through, you describe, they guess, and every radio. I'm so sick of hearing that.
Yeah, well, as soon as you say
but it is that game, and with drinks on board, it is fantastic, and it gets more difficult, believe it or not, as the night goes on, but it's great crack. Yeah. The only bother is that when you've done it a few times, you do kind of repeat over them, but there's great variation, and it's really Irish and up-to-date version of it as well. So if you're looking for something different, 30 seconds, class. Great crack.
Yeah, well, let us know if there's any particular, email us or comment on the video if you like, any particular board games that you like to play at Christmas or around the Christmas time. I know people can get really competitive and a bit thick over it, but if you drink some more, like Brendan said there, it's actually great.
Eve with Cluedo. She changes personality. I call her detective. Because she won't rest until she's solved the case, and if somebody else guesses it before she does, tick. Not brilliant. Tick, but a bit sour, like, you know. She's like, oh, but sure, like, sure, I'm doing all the hard work here. And, like, you know.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
She flips tables over.
She kicked me in the face. Yeah, anyway, it's a great game, but yeah, she just takes it too seriously.
Yeah, no, I love it. I know not everybody's into it. I get that, but I do love that at Christmas, the sitting around, because you know
the board games are great. Yeah,
especially when you're sitting around at home and you've had a few drinks, so you're no longer driving because you've had a few drinks. I just love the crack, like just sitting around, and then inevitably at some point on Christmas night, I don't know if it's the same in your house, the typical Irish thing of turkey or ham sandwich.
Oh yeah, I'm normally too full, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I actually am. Late Christmas
I know. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. The first person who finishes the Christmas dinner every year gets the privilege of saying, I couldn't be fuller. Way. Family tradition. My surname is Fuller. Brendan Fuller. I couldn't be fuller. We're all fullers. It's okay.
This is good. What have you
got? And also I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing It's a Wonderful Life over Christmas, because I watched it last year for the first time and it's class. Yeah. The only downside is that you end up speaking like your man for the rest of the holiday, and you're like, oh, the car is driving crazy. Yeah, that's what you're going to look forward to if I do manage to see it. So, few things. First off, Microsoft has unveiled its newest games console, the Xbox Series X. They're kind of like becoming cars, you know, and that, like, they're just like, what else can we call it? So, we've had Xbox, then Xbox 360, then Xbox One, which was like 350. They're like, Series X. So, it's going to be the most powerful device ever, obviously, and it's going to launch this time next year. So if you're looking at buying something, I know you're looking at, so I'd say kind of hang off on it, because like that's going to be really expensive, right? But like if you're getting the Xbox One now, then you're kind of getting crappy games and stuff, because they're all developing already for this yoke coming out next year. Yeah, that's probably the same for PS4. So if you don't have the PS4 or Xbox One, I'd say hold off, because they're still really expensive. But once that comes out,
that they have a new one. I can't remember the name now, but let's just say for argument's sake, it is the PlayStation 5.
PlayStation Micro.
I'm not sure was it going to be out for Christmas 2020. Christmas 2020. In fact, it could have been 2021. But they are also Sony in the process of doing the same thing. But yeah, Series X. I like Xbox though. I'm an Xboxer as opposed to a PlayStationer. Yeah.
I'm a PlayStationer. Yeah.
Yeah, we just created 2 new words there.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. I was playing Spider-Man there yesterday, because I was like kind of, you know, on the verge of death with what I thought was a flu. No, it's just a cold, and I realised I'm a big old softy. So I was after doing the gig, and I was like, it was like Tom Hanks in the movie Big, because I was just lying on the couch in my suit playing Spider-Man. I was like, this is the life. I've achieved my dreams. But yeah, Spider-Man is class if you're going to get a game. Spider-Man's little. Very good. In other news, Adam Sandler says he's got what looks like a great movie coming out. Really good drama. So he says he spent time with diamond dealers while preparing for his latest role.
Oh yeah.
So actual diamond dealer. Now, who knows if he just went into Hiltzer's like and started hanging out with them. I'm guessing he's referring to, you know, the actual like off the grid kind of people. But in Uncut Gems, that's the name of it, he plays a jeweler and gambling addict trying to pay off his debts before he gets hurt. And it does look like his best role, but I'm always skeptical of these movies which have a class trailer months in advance, and then you hear the talking points in interviews already. Seems like there's almost too much press leading up to it. So I'll try and be reserved until I actually see it. But I remember Tom Cruise had a movie there where he was this regular guy who flew into Colombia. He was a private pilot, I think. A great story, but it was so beefed up and the story was so good. It looked class in the trailers, and then it came out and it was like, it was a bit flat.
I'll be honest, I watched that for I'd say I only got about 15 minutes.
You see, that's it. And the ad for it, I was like, that looks amazing. And
he was
smoking
crap. Drugs, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was a bit like Narcos meets like The Hustle and a load of movies wrapped into one.
It didn't get an hour into that. Turned it
so
off.
I'm worried that'll probably be the same.
The only thing I'd say about Adam Sandler is that film he did with Jennifer Aniston was brutal. It was a comedy on Netflix, and
oh Christ, yeah, it was that. Was it that Was it the one where they were on the plane and they were trying? It was a bit like Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, they're on a boat. It was like a Cluedo thing, but
didn't even watch it.
The trailer was brilliant, but it's one of those typical films where all the best bits were in the trailer. You're like, this is class. So Una and I sat down once to watch it, and it was rubbish.
Do you know what?
Poor, to be honest.
Stand up if you're looking for something different to watch, and if you like humour that's a bit childish and also a bit vulgar at times, Adam Sandler's 100% Fresh on Netflix is top quality.
I scanned past that.
I watched it because I was just trying to find different stand-ups and comedy bits to watch, and I was like, God, I can't believe he's actually done this. Watched it. It was phenomenal. So good. Really well put together. Hilarious songs. And he is just having the time of his life up there. So if you remember Adam Sandler, like, you know, kind of late 90s, early 2000s, he was at the peak of his career. That is...
Time, really,
so he's kind of just... He's just kind of done a circle back on all that kind of comedy and just gone back to his stand-up roots. It is so enjoyable. I thought it was class.
100% Fresh.
Yeah. And it's just his stand-up. Just type in Adam Sandler, you'll find it. Because it's difficult to find stand-up on Netflix that's really, really good. Some of it, they might have one or two jokes that's good, and they might be, you know, maybe fitting a certain type of person that they might be trying to reach a certain audience, or you know, like the hipster or the young woman or whatever it is. But Adam Sandler, I was keeled over laughing. Good. Really clever and just really good crack. So I think you'll like that. I think people of our ilk, who loved Happy Gilmore and everything, will love it.
That's why I was disappointed in the Netflix one with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now, but
they also had the engagement thing as well, which was
awful. See, they're very good friends in real life. Yeah. They're like best friends. And I'll be honest with you, I was so looking forward to it because I like her. I think she's always good and stuff. Like, she's excellent in Horrible Bosses. She's brilliant in that. And she's brilliant in the Office Christmas Party as well. Yeah. But I was like looking forward to, you know, that. And like being a fan of both of them, I thought, oh, this is actually quite poor. So I will have a look at that.
Yeah. Do you have anything there?
I do. I wanted to ask the question: has your mother ever cut your hair?
Yes.
Has your girlfriend ever cut your hair?
No.
Would your mother or your girlfriend ever let you cut their hair?
Jesus. I'm going to say yes.
What?
Because I used.
Tell me Eve would go. Yeah, Brendan.
Maybe not Eve, but I think my mother would. Mammy Mary would. All right, because I used to cut my own hair. And I was all right with it. Yeah, I did, because I didn't like the whole barber experience. Now I've changed my ways. Shout out to Sean Taps.
Hi Shane.
And Shane.
Sean Taps, how's it going? Hi Chris, how's it going, lads?
I need to book my Christmas haircut as well, guys. Yeah, I think the mom might trust me, all right? Just a quick cut, nothing too major, you know?
Okay. One woman recently moved to a new area and wasn't sure where to go for a trim, so she decided to ask her boyfriend for a little help. You can see where this is going. She left her partner cut her fringe with an electric razor, which seems like a great idea. Oh. And it's fair to say, it didn't end well.
Scalped.
She claims that she was very confident in his ability to do so, but when he put down the razor and simply said, without her seeing it, he just went, sorry. What? Then she realised she'd made a big mistake. He got the electric razor, started to cut away, and I told him what to do and let him get on with it. When he was done, he looked at me, just said sorry. I ran to the bathroom mirror where I realised everything had gone horribly wrong. I was mental when I saw my fringe. Now, I haven't got a picture of it. If I get a picture, I'll try and stick it into the video on this. But she did finish by saying he felt really guilty about it. She regretted letting him doing it, and she did forgive him. But never again would she let him do it.
What does it look like?
It's bad. Like it's bad. Like,
is it like reverse mohawk, like kind of?
Yeah, it's
or reverse Ronaldo 2002 World Cup.
That's it. It's just a bit
so
longer.
Off
than
the front, and then the rest.
Brutal. Class. And to be fair to her, like, you know, she kind of felt sorry. I mean, the boyfriend obviously was really guilty about it. But like, the last thing you want to hear when you're with a professional hairdresser or barber is them kind of go, ooh, sorry about that. Whereas, you know, see, it's very easy for you and I, if we go in and our barber was to do an absolute disaster, which to be fair, Sean Taff wouldn't do that. Hi Shane, hi Chris. They wouldn't do that. But let's just say that there was a mistake made. Like, worst case scenario, we shave our head, hair grows back. The same as we know can't be said for a lot of women who are very precious about their hair. So this poor girl had a traumatic experience. But it did get me thinking, what would I be entrusted with to do for my fiance that wouldn't end in disaster. Like cooking dinner is perfectly no problem. I'm well capable of cooking. That kind of stuff I'm fine with. But I was racking my brain trying to think. Driving, no problem. I can drive. Again, likewise, she's a very good driver, so I would trust her to drive. Absolutely, would I go nowhere near her hair or her makeup? Wouldn't do any of that.
Oh no, not makeup. I think I'd be grand with hair. Actually, I'm kind of. Although
you're very confident, we're gonna have to get you to cut a woman's hair.
I think so. Yeah.
Anybody wants to be willing?
Come in next week. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I did cut my own hair for a good, I'd say 2 years. Like. Yeah. So. I kind of have some of the basics.
I know a lot
like
of guys can do that, but
some of the and it wasn't with buzzers either. It was with scissors. Like I made shit at the back sometimes, but but you can kind of feel, and then you're like, okay, and then So I got good enough at it, and then I don't know. Girls started becoming more interesting all of a sudden. I was like, all right, I need to stop cutting my own hair. Actually, do you know what that tells me? That tells me that your hair was actually shit. It probably was, yeah. Although I think I swear to God I was going out with Eve, and I was cutting my own hair.
She slowly persuaded you to stop.
Probably, yeah, I'd say so. Also, I was wearing my dad's Reebok runners on one of our first dates, so she wasn't exactly too high in the old standards, but she never lets me forget that.
Is there anything that you know for certain that if you said, "Oh, I'll do that for you," she'd be like, "Yeah, no bother. I trust Brendan; he can do that."
Driving, like you said. Cooking. I cooked last night.
You're here to tell the tale.
Yeah, and Jesus, she loved it. She said it was very nice, and I was like, right, here's the Grammy, or like an Oscar for Eve, because I hated it. It was so dry. I'm bad with sauces. I can cook, right? I can cook pretty much anything. Can't do sauces, and I mean like from scratch kind of thing. Yeah. So it was like a mushroom, wine, garlic sauce thing. And there just wasn't enough sauce. Like, it was really nice, but just not enough sauce.
I can tell you your problem there, Australia.
I drank all the wine.
I was just going to say, that doesn't even sound like a sauce.
No, it was...
That sounds like you put garlic and mushrooms into wine.
Kind of. And cream. Cream as well, sorry. Yeah. So there just wasn't enough sauce.
I can cook no problem.
I'm very hit and miss, like, with the old cooking.
I've cooked curry from scratch, and I've cooked spaghetti bolognese sauce from scratch. But to be fair, with help and supervision from Una, because
spaghetti bolognese is grand, really, though, isn't it? But I wouldn't know how to do curry from scratch.
Yeah, we did it alright, but again,
why bother?
I wouldn't say it was restaurant standard or anything like that. Like, just going by curry powder and thrown into the pot, be grand.
Class.
Yeah.
Right.
We're nearly there, so we're going to wrap up shortly. So
this is the last one. This is going to be a good old rant, and then. Before we go, Andrew, I need to tell the listeners about my outfit as well.
We didn't actually.
Because we only mentioned Tommy Hilfiger. Because Tommy Bo, I'm sorry, please don't,
Tommy Bo.
So, last one, I hate this so much. This is where I'm most likely to curse during this podcast. An all-female version of Fight Club is coming out in 2020. Why?
What was wrong with Fight Club as it was?
What the hell is going on? Like, why do we need female remakes? Why do we need male remakes of female movie? What a load of shit, okay? Fight Club is my favourite movie of all time. I haven't seen it in a good few years. It's just phenomenal. You can watch it and rewatch it. You'll always find something new and different that you hadn't spotted before. I've seen it 100 times. Still finding new things.
Good.
Just a brilliant movie. David Fincher, excellent director. Edward Norton, fantastic actor. Brad Pitt, coolest dude alive in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's just not a single thing wrong with that movie. It is class. And then they're saying an all-female spin on the movie is being released. Why do we need female remakes?
Have they actors named?
They have.
To see who'll be in it.
Yeah, so I'll just read through, all right, because it's so annoying. I'm genuinely just pissed off when I read this. So it's called Chick Fight. Cool. So it tells the story of an all-female fight club where Anna accidentally burns down her uninsured coffee shop after learning that throwing a joint and a spilled bottle of moonshine don't mix. Cool. Knowing Anna needs to be abruptly shaken and stirred from her deep funk, her best friend takes her to an all-women underground fight club where she encounters an eclectic cast of characters. At the fight club, Anna meets Olivia, played by Bella Thorne, who is the most brutal fighter, and the pair become rivals in all aspects of life, not just in the ring. Anna is helped by solitary trainer Jack Murphy, played by Alec Baldwin, and who helps Anna find her inner strength and true purpose in the most primal of ways. What a load of shit. It's starting January 20... Like, we had Ghostbusters, right?
That was awful.
80s movie, classic. Was it a bit cheesy and cheerful? It was, yes, it was what it was.
Yeah, but the remake was awful.
Yeah, like Bill Murray, like, just don't remake it. It was horrendous, right? Ocean's 8 then, which was a spin-off of Ocean's 11 and 12. I didn't see that.
Bullock is in it, yeah.
I heard things. But then again, Ocean's 11 and 12, they were kind of the same. You know, it wasn't too bad.
I enjoyed them. But
Yeah,
I haven't seen Ocean's.
enjoyable, but you know, they're kind of by the mill and, you know, the heist movies. What Men Want came out this year.
That's
A remake of Mel Gibson's What Women Want, which is the most of its time movie in the year 2000, when we didn't know an awful lot about Mel Gibson, and we were like, yeah, sure, cool. And there is currently over 115 movie remakes and reboots currently in the works. Hollywood's gone to shit. Is Home Alone being...
what have you on Friday?
Is that a TV show though, or something? Netflix,
no, Disney Plus are running with this. They're gonna remake
Jesus
Home Alone.
Christ,
they announced the cast during the week as well.
It just annoys me, like, because, and Joe, I'm all for more female leads and more female movies. Like Charlie's Angels got the reboot. Apparently it's horrendously bad. I'm just not for these remakes of movies that were male into female. Because they tend to just forget about the story and just make it more like, it's women now, you know, and then you actually lose sight of just make a good movie. And
I don't care if it's a man or a woman.
You know, like, Jesus Christ. And one of the best recent movies actually that just got it right, perfect time and everything, The Help. I can't even think of a male character in that movie. Phenomenal acting.
Very good film.
You don't even miss, like, you know, but where's the strong male lead? Like, that's the example. It doesn't need it. You don't need to remake movies with the opposite gender or different race or whatever. It's like, just focus on the good movie, good story, and boom, you've got us hooked.
Wow, a Brendan Fuller rant, lads. There's a Friday brew first. Oh no, wait, we did a rant last week as well.
Yes, Michael Fassbender, yeah. No, you're being recast. Yeah, no, they're giving it to a woman, yeah. Sorry about that. Jessie Buckley has now got it. Sorry about that, man.
Jessie Buckley
is
bye. A cousin of Brendan.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry. So anyway, that's my rant. I hate female or male remakes. Just a remake of a movie is crap.
Yeah, and I'm
but
sure
Fight Club, you can't go near it.
If you have opinions on bad or good remakes, or if you have opinions on anything we just mentioned there as well. Before we go...
Sorry about that. I'm so pissed off.
What are you wearing?
Anyway.
Tell us quickly.
Oh yes, thank you.
We need to wrap.
And I need to, you know, decompress. So we'll start with Tommy Hilfiger shoes. Got these on sale with Brian James. Thank you so much, Brian James. Then I have Levi socks, which are incredibly comfortable and make any outfit look fantastic. Then I've got Paul Galvin jeans. He's still there. Tommy Bow's out. So thank you very much, Paulie G. I have a belt from Burton's.
Paul Galvin, you bought those jeans. He didn't give them to you.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. No, thank you, Paul. Then a special. Actually, I'll leave that for last. This jumper from Penny's. This thing, long sleeve, wine on the sleeves from Burton's. And then... sorry. Beautiful Christmas boxers from the Brand Geeks. They finally gave me something. Thanks, lads. Cheers. Are you okay? Have you been sexually harassed in the workplace?
I was going to say that was at my eye level. Can I just say to the Brand Geeks, if you're watching, he slated you last week. And the week
I did,
before.
and that's how you get stuff from people. You give out about them not giving you stuff.
That's why you're abusive towards Tommy Bow and Paul Galvin. I get it.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching. Next week we'll have a look back at the last decade or so and how we have changed.
And
to that.
mulled wine and eggnog.
Next week.
Yeah.
If you don't bring that now, you know I'm going to be ticked like.
No, I do have a show to do after this recordable.
Cathal brought in
I think it might improve.
You now have to up that by bringing alcohol. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend. See you later, everybody. Thanks
Cheers.
Thanks for watching.
Good luck and thanks.
luck.
Bye bye.